Hi there, my name is Stacey Bartel and I'm president of O.B.S Financial Services located in Oakbank, Manitoba. At O.B.S Financial, we provide our clients with advice on investments, insurance, income tax, and all their business needs. As you're aware, 2020 was quite the year with COVID-19 pandemic and with that came the introduction of hundreds of different government subsidies and programs held both by the federal and the provincial government to help us through the financial turmoil that came along with this pandemic. Well, as much as the pandemic's not over, the 2020 tax year is, and with that, as business owners, comes our favorite time of the year, and that's T4 preparation, when we get all of our paperwork together so our employees can file their taxes and we can report the income to Revenue Canada. Now that it's that time of year, Revenue Canada or the Canada Revenue Agency, has tasked us as business owners with providing them with more detailed information on our employees' income through the use of their T4 slip. It's apparent that the Canada Revenue Agency will be using this information to determine the eligibility of taxpayers who made claims for these payments and recover any amounts that they were unlawfully taken by Canadians who did not meet the requirements. This is an important part of our self-assessment tax system, as taxpayer fraud or people receiving benefits that they're not entitled to, whether accidentally or intentionally, only adds to the increased costs that Canadians pay in taxes, whether it's intentional or not. So over the next couple of minutes, I want to walk you through the changes and what you can expect that you're going to need to do when we file your T4s this year, or for those that are not clients of O.B.S Financial, when you go to file your own T4s. So hang tight with me for just 1 minute and I'll switch over to our new slide deck. All right, so in this presentation, we're going to talk about what you need to know for preparing and filing your 2020 T4s, or what we'll need to know in order to file your T4s on your behalf. First of all, why the changes? Well, as I said before, subsidies have equaled the changes. So in order to understand what we're reporting, I just want to give you a brief understanding as to what Revenue Canada is looking for. Throughout the year, different subsidies were created, and we're going to discuss right now, first of all, the individual subsidies. So if you first recall, back in March, the Government of Canada announced the CERB, the Canadian Emergency Response Benefit. That ended September 26th, and since then, we now have 3 new benefits that are available for Canadians going into October, November, December, and into 2021. And they are the CRB, which is the Canada Recovery Benefit, the CRSB, which is the Canada Recovery Sickness Benefit, which helps you if you're ill or sick or if you need to quarantine and you're not getting paid during that period. The Canada Recovery Caregiver Benefit, if you need to care for somebody who has got COVID or you need to help with that's COVID related. And the other benefit that was available for individuals was the Canadian Emergency Student Benefit. Now, there were a lot of other subsidies available, rent subsidies, everything else, but at the end of the day, these are the ones that we're talking about that Revenue Canada is using T4s to audit. Now, for businesses, I should touch on those. For businesses, there were 2 payroll subsidies that the businesses could take advantage of. First of all, there was the Canadian Emergency Wage Subsidy, and part of that wage subsidy included a 10% wage reduction for a period of time, which a lot of people or a lot of businesses weren't aware of. Now, I will talk about that in a bit because every business in Canada with employees did qualify for that. So, first of all, let's talk about the CERB and how that worked. So CERB came out March 15th and was effective and ended on September 26th. There were 7 4-week periods where people could apply. In order to get it, you had to have earned $5,000 in 2019 or in the 12 months leading up to March 15th. During the period of time, during each 4-week period, you could not have earned more than $1,000 gross within that period. Now, while CERB was around, 8.9 million Canadians applied and received CERB. The cost to Canadians was $81.6 billion. And as much as it may have been, as much as a lot of people think it was for low-income people, one thing to notice and one thing Revenue Canada is looking at is over 114,000 Canadians who in 2019 earned more than $100,000 applied and received CERB payments. Now, that doesn't mean that they weren't out of jobs. That's just how bad our economy was affected. Now, going into the CRB, which is the Canada Recovery Benefit, that started September 27th and it's ongoing. Now, how do people get it? Number one, their income in 2020 cannot have exceeded $38,000. Now, if you're not working and you qualify for other reasons, you should do it because the recovery rate is only 50 cents for every dollar you've taken. So if your income is over 38, the repayment rate is 50 cents for every dollar received. So in other words, if your income was $40,000 and you received a $2,000 benefit, you were $2,000 over the 38. So out of that $2,000, you would have to repay $1,000, but you still have the $1,000. Now, mind you, it's taxable, so it dwindles down real quick, but that benefit is there. Now, the second thing, and this is what's going to end up happening with this, is that the applicant's income has to be 50% less than what it was on average in 2019. So in other words, the calculation is if you made $26,000 in 2019, your average income, 26 divided by 52, would be $500 a week. So in order to qualify for this, you would have had to make less than $250 per week in order to apply for it, and it goes over a 2-week application period. Now, not important for what we're talking about, but it is important to understand what was or what's available for employees out there. Now, what does this mean to us? What is new? Well, first of all, there's new boxes on the T4 that must be completed by every employer. Box 14, which is where we've always reported our employees' pay, still remains the same. So box 14 will still have what your taxable income is, and that'll be used to fill the income tax returns. The new boxes that need to be completed are as follows. As employers, we need to determine each one of our employees how much money they made between March 15th and May 9th. Then we need to report, and that goes in box 57, between May 10th and July 4th, they need to report that amount in box 58. Between July 5th and August 29th, we need to report the income for our employees on box 59. And from August 30th to September 26th, that gets claimed on box 60. Now, we don't have to break down a report how much money our employees made for January 1st to March 14th. And surprisingly, the government's not having us report how much money our employers are making between September 26th and December 31st. At least not yet. What I would imagine is going to happen is we'll be getting calls or letters from Service Canada or the Canada Revenue Agency asking us for further breakdown on an as-needed basis. And of course, box 71, which is another relatively new one, which has to deal with income exempt under the First Canadians or Aboriginal Act. Now, as an employer, right, so that's for our employees in T4 completion. The other form that we have to introduce and file this year is the PD-27. The PD-27 is required by employers if you claimed any of the CEWS payments, so if you made any applications for CEWS, or if you did claim or you want to claim the 10% wage subsidy that was available. This form is going to be a reconciliation form so that when you file your T4 summaries, the government will understand what amounts went to who, where, when, and how in order to make up the difference in what you remitted and took off of your employee's payroll. Now, it's used to account for the 10% wage subsidy that was available from March 18th to June 2019, okay? And the maximum claim for the employers is $1,375 per employee or $25,000 per employer. So now, if you did not claim your 10% subsidy, this is your last opportunity to claim it, and you'll get a credit to go towards your 2021 payroll remittances. For those that aren't aware of what the 10% wage subsidy is, basically for any deductions that we withheld from our employees, CPP, EI, or federal and provincial income tax, during that period, when we'd send that off, so if we took $400 off of an employee's paycheck, we would only have to send $360 into the Canada Revenue Agency. The 10% was the subsidy that was available to all Canadian businesses. So again, if you didn't take it, this is going to be your opportunity to get some of that money back, because especially if your company has higher thresholds or higher payroll, it can add up really quick. Now, for our clients, we're here to help. We're here to do your T4's. We're here to do your wage subsidy forms. We're automatically going to take a look and see if you missed any CEWS applications based off of the information we have from your income, right? And if CRA is going to audit any of this stuff, we're here to help you. For those that aren't O.B.S. financial clients, we're here to help you as well. We can do the exact same thing for you. We'll put a priority to our existing clients. However, we're already starting to work on T4's and T5's to make sure that we're anticipating a rush of small business owners who've normally done their own T4's that are going to be lost through this process, as the forms are quite cumbersome to figure out. So if you want our help, if you want our assistance, please give us a call. Our phone number is 204-444-5678, or you can email us at oakbank@obstax.com. You don't have to be from Oakbank. You don't have to be from Manitoba. We have a completely virtual office. You can upload everything right through our website, email stuff. We can share accounting files, and we can help you do everything for you. Anyways, I want to thank you for your time. I wish you a good T4 season, and hopefully we all have a way better 2021 than we did 2020. Thank you very much, and have yourself a good day.